In this video, we kayak along Caesar's Creek where we get stuck in the mud, cook some breakfast, and do a little bit of fishing. Come join us to see how we do. Alright, today we're paddling up Caesar's Creek on our kayaks and we're going to make some breakfast and do some fishing. Alright, so Leo's already steaming ahead of me, always a good sign. I think he's excited. Yeah, so we're here in Caesar's Creek and we're going to paddle up from the boat ramp, which is north of the lake. And we're going to go up to where it forks off and actually take the creek up a little bit toward one of the bridges. And then we're going to stop and have some breakfast and we're going to do a little bit of fishing. Yeah, this is something I've wanted to do for a while, to paddle up somewhere and stop and cook and eat. So it should be fun. We've got the morning to do this and Leah has something he has to do this afternoon. So we woke up early this morning and we're here on the lake and watching the sunrise and seeing the mist. It's good fun. Yeah, so I've got a couple backpacks full of goodies with stuff to fish with and cook with for breakfast. So we're going to paddle up here a little bit and find a good spot and pull over and do some cooking and hopefully catch a couple fish. So there's actually quite a lot of fish in here. You can see them sort of splashing around and there's lots of bubbles and stuff. And there's a lot of turtles in here as well. So Leo's getting a lot stronger. We've done this for a couple of years now and each year he gets better and better at it. And he's just leaving me behind, just like he does with hiking and cycling now. So you can really tell he's getting stronger.
No. Stop! Crash!
Alright, we're coming up to the fork here. You can turn left or you can turn right. And we will be turning right to follow the creek up a little bit. And there's a bridge. And if memory serves, it's a nice flat spot we can pull the kayaks up and then we can start cooking some breakfast because I'm hungry. So it's definitely a lot shallower here. Was bottoming out as we turn the corner, but it's gotten a little bit deeper in the middle. We had a very wet start to the summer, but the last few weeks has been very dry. So it's been a very dry start to the fall. You can tell the creek's down a bit lower than it normally is, but at least there's plenty of water. Usually this time of year, a lot of this area can be dried up pretty well, but since we had such a wet start, it's actually quite nice. Yeah, Leo's just steaming ahead of me. It's actually very hard to film while you're paddling because every time you take your hand off the paddle, the whole kayak tends to spin around. So you're constantly having to go from one side to the other. And since he's going so fast, I'm not taking time to like film properly. Or if I am, I'm losing control and almost colliding into the bank. But it just means he's excited. So I'm not frustrated about it. It's just a little bit difficult. You want to do there? Is that what you said? Alright, you just found us a spot. So it looks pretty good. It's like a little bridge area. it's been very muddy. All right, let's pull this up a little bit. Oh, uh-oh, I'm sinking. My foot, look, you see it sunk in there. It's not right. It's... All right, it should be good. It's also why I wear flip-flops instead of decent shoes, because now my feet are covered in mud and all this kind of stuff. Yeah. And I can just rinse them off and I'm still good to go. I don't think this is a great spot to fish because A, we're gonna get stuck in the mud if we try and stand here, and B, it's a little bit too far up from the creek itself. It's like a little inlet, but it should be good enough for us to cook breakfast. There's a nice gravelly spot where I'm standing, which is just big enough for us to set up. And I think we're both very hungry, so we're gonna eat first and then either go up a bit or down a bit and do a bit of fishing. All right, we've actually found like a little bridge. It's actually a nice big piece of concrete, which is be perfect for cooking on. So me and Leo are just tidying it up a little bit, and we're gonna set up our breakfast right here. This will be perfect. All right, so I've done what I normally do, and I've taken a couple of frozen water bottles and used them as refrigeration. So I've kept the sausages nice and cool and the eggs and everything. So you can see the frozen water bottles here. Put the eggs in these containers, you see? That way they don't break. Yeah, please excuse my muddy feet, but it was quite sloshy when we got here. First up, sausages. It's my Opinel inox blade, super light. So the only problem with this, what do you call it, butane setup, is that it concentrates a lot of the heat directly in the middle. So you have to kind of cook around the outside, and it also tends to burn off the coating for the pan. This is quite a nice picnic spot though. We've got like a little tributary that comes into here, and then it goes this way, and it goes out toward the creek. It's quite scenic. There's no one here. Stuff. I'm not putting that in the sausages. So I let the pan cool down a little bit because it's getting too hot in the middle, and I went ahead and melted the butter slowly so it wouldn't burn, and then I put a nice coating of butter on there and then cracked the eggs. So I'm going to heat them up a little bit slowly, that way I'm not burning all my food. The nice thing about sausages is that they're already cooked. All you gotta do is heat them up, so even if you don't cook them like properly, they're already cooked, so it doesn't matter. Feast over here, look at that. Sausages and eggs. Starting to feel a bit more alive now. We're having chicken sausages and fried eggs. So basically, first thing this morning, I'm talking like 5 in the morning, I threw a bunch of stuff together and we headed out the door, what was it, about 7:30? And I always forget a few things. I forgot to bring any like napkins or paper towels or anything like that. Didn't even think about having a bowl to mix the pancake mix in. But the containers that I use for the eggs are perfect. I can use this to mix the pancake mix. So just use what you got.
That's not okay. We're gonna go tall weeds.
I'm slightly concerned that it's going to get burnt in the middle and then be like uncooked on the outside, but we're going to give it a shot. I also forgot to bring the syrup, so just have to have the chocolate pancakes by themselves. Yeah, it's pretty much doing what I thought it was going to do. Burning in the middle and then not cooking on the outside. Yeah, you can see here where it sort of burnt in the middle and on the outside it didn't really cook, it's kind of raw. So I've had to sort of cut it up in the middle and then flip it. Also, I'll let you in a little secret. I don't like making chocolate pancakes. They get really like gooey like this and it's kind of annoying. My son really likes them, so chocolate pancakes it is. Personally, I prefer blueberries. Alright, so we've got slightly burnt pancakes. Would you like a slightly burnt pancake?
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. I'm gonna cook this one with some residual heat, see what happens with it. Alright, Leah says his is good despite it being a little bit burnt. We'll call it crispy instead, how about that? Also, this isn't cooking very fast with the heat off, so it's time to turn it back on. There you go, I've separated it a little bit so that it won't burn quite so bad. I'm just gonna kind of tease it away from the heat source a little bit, and then when I flip it, I'll flip it over so that the other side cooks better.
Oh, good.
Smash pancakes. See how it gets all goopy like that? It just drives me nuts. I don't like it.
Oh, this. That one almost landed.
There you go. Yeah, Leo did a good job finding the spot. It's just a perfect like slab of concrete that's basically over a little smaller creek that feeds into the bigger one. So despite it not looking particularly appetizing, pretty good. Smashed pancakes. Bab. You know, they say it's the little things in life. I found this little packet of Kleenex in my hiking bag, and it's perfect. I'm able to clean my knife off and all the dishes. Alright, I've wiped the gunk off some of my bits and pieces here. That way it won't make such a mess when it goes back in my backpack. Alright, we've packed up camp, and now we're gonna paddle back down the creek a little bit and find a good place to do some fishing. See if I can not get stuck this time. Alright, I think I'm free. Alright, there's quite a bit of mud there. I think I've broken free. Yeah, you picked a good one. Okay, so we're making our way back to the main creek now. So we're gonna get back to the main creek, find a good place to pull up again, and then we'll get the fishing rod out, see if we can catch a couple fish. So this is my favorite time in Ohio, the whole September through October period, where you get nice warm days, nice cool nights, and you get the leaves changing and falling a little bit like this. If I hadn't started the channel, I probably would have thought about doing this, but I probably wouldn't have done it because it would have been too much. And since I started the channel, I'm like, I've got to get outside. And it just kind of forces me to take my son out more often, and I'm really enjoying this, so I'm glad for that. Okay, so we've come up at a junction. You can go either left or right. And we came down this way, so I asked my son, I said, which way do you think it is? He said, well, we came right on the way up, so it has to be left on the way back. I'm like, you are correct. Thought they forgot it. Alright, we are now back on the main creek, and it's certainly a lot deeper here. So in theory, there should be some more fishies. So the only problem with these is it kind of rides up on your neck. So the thing to do is to grow a beard, and then you can kind of use it like this, and it stops it from chafing your cheeks. Join me for other manly advice. Leah thinks she's found a spot. We shall see. It looks a little small, but we might be able to make it work. Oh look, hopefully it's not muddy like last time. Is there anywhere for us to stand without sinking? Yeah, maybe we should go up a bit further. You got the right idea. Yeah, it's a good little spot that Leo just found, but it's a bit small and it looks very muddy, so wouldn't be great for us to stand on. So we're going to go up a bit further and see what we can find. Leo's just zooming ahead of me again, so means he's got plenty of energy. Leo's telling me that he's found a lot of activity up ahead, so that's a good sign. Leo's on a mission. You see him over there. Let's see if he can find a good spot. The sides of this creek are very muddy, so it's hard to find a good spot to pull up. Alright, Leo, so how deep is it here? What? Wow, that's very deep. So the shore is literally right behind me, and it's more than 6 feet. Very deep. So the reason for that is that Caesars Creek is actually, or was, a town I think called New Burlington, and they flooded it in the 70s when they built the dam. And now, as it goes down to the valley area where it's flooded, it gets really deep really quickly. Oh, so graceful. Oh, it's like I pooped my pants in there or something like that. Alright, we set up our fishing rods, so we're gonna fish here on the bank for a few minutes and see what we can do. Alright, I've changed my bag set up a little bit. I've got both backpacks strapped to the back of the kayak now, so we could actually probably move on with the fishing rod on our kayaks here in a minute. But we're just fishing from the bank first to see what happens. We watch the bobber as it doesn't bob. If it does bob, it may be a fish or a stick. Alright, Leo says he sees bubbles, so I'm going to drop my hook in, see what we can catch. I've added another dimension to my filming. I'm now filming, paddling, and fishing at the same time. Some bit of work, but you know, it's fun. Just kind of fishing off the bottom right now, so we'll see if we get any tugs. Alright, we're both getting a bit tired and we don't have much luck with the fishing, so we're going to move up a bit and hopefully find a shaded spot and camp out there for a little bit, and then if we don't get any fishies, we'll probably just head home.
Very deep.
Alright, so we're almost back to the dock. We're basically slowly floating towards it right now, and we're just kind of fishing. And what'd you say?
It's gigantic.
Leah said he saw a gigantic splash. So there's definitely fishies in here. All right, we're almost back at the dock, so that's about it for us for this trip. All right, let's see how graceful I can do getting out this thing. I managed not to lose all my stuff. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. We put out new videos every week.
Yep, see you in the next adventure.